Grading of the prostatic carcinoma. The Gleason system is used to grade the carcinoma of the prostate based on the gland formation characteristics and differentiation of the tumor. According to the Gleason system scale, if it is 24, then it means that the glands are well differentiated, tumor is well differentiated and they are characteristics glands. And if it is 57, then it indicates that there is moderately differentiated tumor and glands. And if it is 810, then it shows that glands and tumor are poorly differentiated. Clinical features vary in different stages of the tumor. For localized T1 and T2, which is confined within the capsule, they may be asymptomatic, or they may be the symptoms of the lower urinary tract symptoms and hematuria. For locally advanced T3 and T4 tumors, in which disease produces bladder outlet obstruction, hematuria, deep perineal pain, or renal failure due to the bilateral ureteric obstruction due to the extensive invasion of the tumor. And if the disease is metastatic and it is metastasizing to the distant parts, so then it could cause the bony pain, as disease is metastasized to the lumbar vertebra, pelvic bone, femur, etc. Arthritis may occur, usually lower back ache due to the vertebral metastasis, spinal cord compression due to the vertebral collapse, anemia, pancytopenia due to the bone marrow invasion, and cuff hemoptysis due to the pulmonary deposits, and deranged liver functions due to the hepatic involvement. It is to be noted that even in the metastatic disease, patient can be asymptomatic, and tumor is found on investigations. Investigations to be performed are, first of all, digital rectal examination is performed. In this picture, the procedure of the digital rectal examination is shown. A finger is passed through the rectum and the prostate is palpated, and urinary bladder is also palpated to see the prostatic invasion into the bladder. On digital rectal examination, the size and surface of the prostate is assessed. It may be the nodular, stony, hard and craggy, obliteration of the median sulcus, and fixation of the rectal mucosa. Rectal mucosa generally is freely movable on the prostate. If there is fixation of the rectal mucosa, all are the features of the prostatic carcinoma. And if there is extension beyond the capsule up into the bladder base and vesicle, then it is diagnostic of the prostatic carcinoma. After digital rectal examination, prostate specific antigen is assessed. Normally it is 4 nanogram per ml. If it is more than 10 nanogram per ml, then it is suggestive of the prostatic carcinoma. And if it is more than 20 nanogram per ml, then it is almost diagnostic of the advanced prostatic carcinoma, which shows the bony metastasis. But it is not as specific and sensitive especially in the early disease, because it also raised in other different diseases like BPH, prostatitis. After digital rectal examination, PSA is also raised, and after catheterization, PSA is raised. But it is a good prognostic factor and good at following the course of the advanced disease, and it provides a good prognostic factor. Blood tests, these may be normal in the early disease, but in the metastatic disease, there may be erythroblastic anemia secondary to the extension of the marrow invasion, anemia secondary to the renal failure. There may be the thrombocytopenia and evidence of the disseminated intravascular coagulation with increased fibrinogen degradation products. Radiography. X-ray chest shows the metastasis in the lungs and the ribs. X-ray of the lumbar spine is also performed to see the characteristic sclerotic metastasis, and X-ray of the pelvic bone is also performed. Bone appears dense and coarse on the X-rays, but it should be kept in mind that the osteolytic it should be kept in mind that the picture should be differentiated from the Paget's disease of the bone. As in the Paget's disease of the bone, bones are also dense and coarse. So the coarse and dense bones due to the prostatic carcinoma, metastasized prostatic carcinoma should be differentiated from the Paget's disease. Number 5 is MRI and CT scan. MRI and CT of the pelvic are indicated if the biopsies are positive for the adenocarcinoma of the prostate. High resolution CT scan of the chest is more reliable than the X-rays. This gives anatomical information about local extent of the cancer and lymph node involvement. LFTs are done. They may be abnormal if there is extensive metastatic invasion of the liver. It is usually detected by the ultrasound. Alkaline phosphate will be increased, which shows the hepatic involvement or secondaries to the bone. After that, bone scan is performed if metastatic spread is suspected based on the high PSA level, which is more than 10 nanogram per ml. Locally advanced disease or presence of the Gleason score 7 or higher. But if PSA level is less than 10 nanogram per ml, then bone scan would be performed only on the clinical indications. It is performed by the injection of the technetium 99M, which is then monitored using a gamma camera. It is more sensitive in the diagnosis of the metastasis than a skeletal survey. But false positive result occurs in the arthritis, osteomyelitis, or a healing fracture. After establishing the diagnosis of prostatic cancer through transrectal ultrasonography guided biopsy or histopathology after transurethral resection of the prostate, a bone scan is mandatory to classify as organ confined disease or metastatic prostatic cancer, because both have very different management. TRUS and the biopsy, transrectal ultrasonography and biopsy. These are indicated if cancer is suspected due to the raised PSA or finding on the digital rectal examination which shows the hard nodular prostate, or if they are raised PSA or metastatic disease, then a prostate biopsy using an automated gun is recommended. The procedure is done under the local anesthesia. Generally local anesthesia is used, and the prostate is visualized with transrectal ultrasonography, and 12-core biopsy of the prostate is obtained by true cut needle mounted on the spring loaded gun. There is a spring loaded gun, as in this picture is given. A spring loaded gun is present, and a true cut needle. Here is a true cut needle. True cut needle is mounted on the gun, and through this 12-core needle biopsy is performed, and ultrasonography is done through the rectally. Here ultrasonography is being performed continuously, and biopsy is taken from the 12-core biopsy is taken from the true cut needle. These biopsies are obtained from the lesion that looks suspicious on ultrasound, and if there is associated bladder outlet obstruction, then a channel transurethral resection of the prostate is done, which provides relief of the urinary obstruction and specimen for the histological investigation. The biopsy taken can be through the two routes, transrectally and transperineally. Normally, transrectally biopsy is taken, but transperineal method is being used increasingly. Broad spectrum antibiotics cover is given to all patients to reduce the incidence of the sepsis, which is greater with the transrectal than the transperineal biopsy. Transperineal biopsy usually involves sedation or general anesthesia, while transrectal biopsy can be performed under the local anesthesia. If there are associated symptoms of the bladder outlet obstruction, then either a transurethral resection of the prostate is done for the diagnostic material and symptomatic relief, or transrectal biopsy is done if the diagnosis is positive and there is locally advanced disease. Then hormonal ablation can provide good symptomatic relief without the need for the operation.